If you want to find truly alien life, you don't actually have to look to the stars. Nope, you just need to look into our own oceans. The octopus is so profoundly different from us, it's really like a second, totally independent experiment in what it means to be intelligent. So let's dive in and explore what makes this creature so unbelievably unique. Okay, it all starts with the hardware, right? An octopus has 500 million neurons. Now, that number alone is pretty impressive. It puts it right in the same league as smart mammals like cats and even dogs. But where the octopus puts those neurons? Well, that's what makes it so incredibly alien. Just look at this breakdown. It's wild. Unlike us, with our one big, centralized brain running the whole show, 2/3 of an octopus's mind is distributed throughout its 8 arms. Think about that. Each arm can taste, touch, and move with a mind of its own. It's a decentralized consciousness that is, well, it's almost impossible for us to even imagine. So what does a distributed mind get you? Well, for the octopus, it powers one of the most legendary survival tools in the entire animal kingdom. It's camouflage. We're talking about a system of invisibility so advanced, it literally operates at the speed of thought. Yeah, forget about the slow, sluggish changes of a chameleon, which are controlled by hormones. The octopus changes its entire appearance neurally, directly from its nervous system. And that means it can go from spotted to striped to perfectly matching the gravel beneath it in just 200 milliseconds. That's as fast as you can blink. It's instantaneous. So how in the world does it do it? Well, it's not just one trick. It's 3 layers of incredibly sophisticated tissue all working together. On top, you've got chromatophores. They're like these tiny balloons of pigment that the octopus can stretch to create patterns. Below that, iridophores create those shimmery metallic blues and greens. And then the deepest layer, leucophores, reflect the ambient light for a perfect, brilliant white. But wait, the deception goes even deeper. This isn't just a 2D color change. Using these tiny muscular structures called papillae, the octopus can change its physical skin texture. It can create bumps and ridges to perfectly mimic a jagged rock or a flowing piece of seaweed. It's a full 3-dimensional illusion. Okay, but here's the massive paradox that had scientists stumped for decades. Octopuses are believed to be completely colorblind. So, how on earth can they create such a perfect, vibrant color match with their surroundings if they can't even see the color to begin with? The answer is just absolutely mind-blowing. It turns out the octopus can literally see with its skin. Its skin is packed with the exact same light-sensing proteins that are in its eyes. This means its body has this form of distributed awareness, completely bypassing the brain to perceive and match the light all around it. Just incredible. So we've seen the incredible how, but that leads us to an even bigger question. Why? Why did this one lineage of mollusk evolve such a complex mind and body? Well, the answer lies in a huge gamble that it took millions and millions of years ago. To understand, we have to rewind the clock. For hundreds of millions of years, the octopus's ancestors were basically like snails, slow and protected by these heavy, hard shells. But then, around 140 million years ago, they did something completely radical. They just ditched the armor. This was the ultimate evolutionary trade-off. On one hand, by losing the shell, they became incredibly vulnerable, soft, squishy, and a tasty meal for predators. But on the other hand, they gained unbelievable agility. Without bones, an octopus can basically pour its body through any hole larger than its eyeball. It was a huge risk, but it came with a huge reward. And this, right here, is the heart of their story. Losing that physical defense created this intense evolutionary pressure cooker. With no armor left to protect them, the only path to survival was to become masters of camouflage and to outthink, outmaneuver, and just plain out smart their attackers. So that's the theory, but what's the proof? How do we know all that pressure actually led to high-level intelligence? Well, the evidence is pretty undeniable when you look at their behavior. Scientists have documented a stunning array of cognitive abilities. We're talking about complex stuff, like using tools and planning for the future. They have both short and long-term memory, they can tell the difference between individual humans, and yes, they can even hold grudges, and maybe most surprisingly of all, they play. This is one of the most famous examples. The coconut octopus will actually find discarded coconut shell halves and carry them around, sometimes for long distances, to use later as a portable shelter. That's not just tool use, that's foresight. It's planning for a future problem. And then there's the play. In one experiment, an octopus repeatedly shot a pill bottle with a jet of water, bouncing it against the tank's current, over and over again. Why? For no discernible reason other than, well, it seemed like fun. This is a behavior we once thought was exclusive to intelligent, social animals like us. All of this, the decentralized mind, the tool use, the playfulness, it really forces us to take a step back and reconsider our entire understanding of how and why intelligence even evolves in the first place. See, for a long time, the leading theory was what's called the social intelligence hypothesis, the idea that big brains evolved to handle the complex politics of living in a large group. But there's a competing idea, the ecological intelligence hypothesis, which suggests minds can also evolve simply from the pressures of finding food and not becoming food. And this is where the octopus just throws a wrench in everything we thought we knew. As a mostly solitary animal, it doesn't have a complex social life. Its intelligence didn't evolve to navigate a social ladder, but to navigate a dangerous physical world. It's maybe the strongest evidence we have that there is more than one path to a brilliant mind. The octopus is living proof that a mind doesn't need a backbone or a social group, or even a single central brain to become complex. It represents a completely separate journey to intelligence. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final question. If life on our own planet could produce two such radically different forms of consciousness, what other kinds of minds might be waiting for us out there in the universe?